actually absolutely similar to what he was global as well. On how do we develop high potentials? We develop by giving developmental assignments, special projects, exposure, mobility. Mentoring is a difference. Before we sat here, I was sitting with all the panelists, and one of the things that was being said was, I think Chetan, that was you, which was that how we grow leaders is by very close proximity of leader and the future leader, which is mentoring, right? Whether it is formal or informal. So we use mentoring in a big way, and of course rotational assignments also we do. Moving forward, selection processes to promote leaders. Now we're talking about top leaders. For promoting top leaders, we use behavioral interviews, personality assessment, career interest inventories, and value inventory. So value-based leadership is an important selection process for senior leaders. But we are not doing customized leadership competency-wise assessment. So we are not doing any personality test, this personality, interest of that individual, value inventory, but nothing of this kind, which is saying on my company's competencies, how is the person? We are not doing anything there. And these are critical decisions we are taking of promoting senior leaders to top leadership positions. And so we need to take cognizance of that. Does the leader have the leadership DNA of my organization? Assessment of leadership performance. How do we assess top leader performance? Achieving objectives, demonstrating company vision, financial performance, developing, generating talent, employee engagement. However, interestingly in Globe, the second most thing is achieving objective, and then how the objective were achieved. That is missing for us. We are not looking at the how part, we are looking at more the objective part. So we need to look at that and see how can we inculcate in our company. And then development process for top leadership is rotational assignment and special projects is something that we are doing. We are not doing global assignments. So especially in an integrated world where our managers and our leaders will need to go out into the world, we are not creating that global leadership probably, and open and in the panel we'll discuss this. Also, even if we don't go, are we creating global leaders if we don't move them around, even if they are only in India? But if we don't move them around and let them see the world, would we have global leaders who are based in India? So that's a missing piece. And that's what I come to the last slide, which is what I said. This presentation is only about one slide. As I said, cultural aspects, I had reiterated to you there are 5. Short and long-term balance, competitive and consensus balance, work for intrinsic rewards, accepting of ambiguity, and strong hierarchies. These are 5 cultural aspects. Inspire and motivate, team orientation, participative, and humane. These are the 4 aspects of leadership. Business challenge, interestingly, growth, margin pressure, those were the business challenges, and competitive marketplace, but employee engagement is a business challenge, right? Just reiterate. Therefore, this was the model I talked about. Competencies, participating and inclusive, future focused, lead and manage change, build teams, and deliver results. We're currently not focusing on deliver results. Skills, visionary, innovation, customer relationship, attract and develop next-gen leaders, ethical standard and practices. We're not focusing currently on ethical standard practices, customer relationship, and innovation. We need to focus more on that. Having said that, on strategy we said, high potential, we have that as a priority. All companies are saying that. But diversity agenda is the other missing piece there. We are not doing that. Though it is a required strategy, we are not acting on it. Top leaders, assessment and development. Performance management system should include the how part. Currently it is missing. Assessment of values is being done, but competencies is missing currently for senior leaders. In development, we are doing rotation, we are doing projects, executive coaching, and board exposure to board. Many companies are doing that, but global exposure is missing. And high potential assessment is being done both basis performance as well as competencies. The learning is primarily experiential, and mentoring and coaching is something that is significantly focused on. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what I had, and I'd like to just end with this quote from Mr. Narayan Murthy, where he says leadership is an action, not word. Build a climate of honesty, hard work, and excellence. Build a social conscious and benchmark yourself the best in the world. Be honest and true to the profession and act fearlessly.
The last session for the evening will bring out the various perspectives on leadership the India way. As Western economies struggle to recover from the global recession, India's multitudes earned it a place alongside China as one of the world's two indispensable emerging markets. With increasing confidence, CEOs of India's leading companies are venturing overseas, making headlines with high-profile acquisitions such as Tata Group's purchase of Jaguar and Land Rover, or Bharti Airtel's acquisition of Zen's African telecommunications business. Indian software giants like TCS, Wipro and Infosys have emerged as global technology leaders. Indian companies are thriving in other key sectors as well, such as pharmaceuticals, petrochemicals and steel, demonstrating a capacity for efficiency and innovation that is changing the global competitive landscape. So what perspective do our panelists have to share, bearing in mind the peculiarities of the Indian business? To discuss this at length, I take the opportunity to invite once again Mr. Ajay Soni, our moderator for the session, on stage, please. I will also like to call upon the panelists for this session in alphabetical order. I request Ms. Anjali Bais to please just take her seat on the dais. Ms. Anjali Bais is currently Director HR at SKF India Limited. She is an alumnus of Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi, and has completed her Masters in Applied Psychology from Delhi University. She obtained her PG HRD from Symbiosis Center for HRD, Pune, and has an advanced certificate in marketing from Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK. She has varied experience in manufacturing, insurance, and R&D companies, having worked with Tata Motors, Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance Company, Cummins, and Thermax. She has handled multiple functional excellence areas, including strategic HR, industrial relations, organization development, learning and development, Six Sigma, corporate responsibility, health, safety and environment, and administration. Her significant contributions include multiple business partnership programs, implementation of culture-based HR strategy, capability building, Six Sigma, and diversity initiatives. She has also championed multiple change management programs and is currently the president of the Pune chapter of NHRDN as well. Thank you very much for being with us today. I next invite Mr. Bobby Koryakose on the panel. Mr. Bobby Koryakose is currently Director HR and Learning and Development at the Forbes Marshall Group, Pune. He has been with the group for over 22 years. The group has won several awards for best HR practices in 2005, 2008, 2011, 2012, and even as recent as 2013. Forbes Marshall has been recognized amongst the top great places to work in India, according to a survey conducted by Great Place to Work Institute and Economic Times. Congratulations, sir. In fact, in 2013, the company has been ranked 5th among the 535 companies which registered for the study. Forbes Marshall has also in the past won the award for strong commitment to HR excellence based on the audit conducted by CII's HR excellence model. He is an alumnus of Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune, and ISB Hyderabad. He is also a certified coach associated with International Coaches Federation. It is indeed an honor to have you with us today. I now invite Mr. Chetan Tolia to join the panel members on the dais. Mr. Chetan Tolia joined Tata Power in September 2012 and is the Chief HR Officer of the company. Before joining Tata Power, he was the Director of Tata Management Training Center, Pune, for over 4 years. Previously, he was the CEO of Tata BlueScope Steel Limited and led the formation of the 50-50 joint venture between BlueScope Steel and Tata Steel and developing its building solutions and coated steel businesses. Prior to that, he headed the strategy and planning department at Tata Steel, where he led the development of Tata Steel's growth strategy and was responsible for anchoring the strategic planning processes. Earlier, he led the Pune business unit of Tata Ryerson Limited. Having studied at IIT Madras and IIM Calcutta, he joined Tata Steel in 1987, where his experience ranged from customer relationship management, sales, marketing, market planning, project management, and marketing. Glad to have you on the panel today, sir. I now take the opportunity to invite Mr. Gajendra Chandel to join the panel. Mr. Gajendra Chandel, President and Head Human Resources, Tata Autocom Systems Limited, holds a postgraduate diploma in management. He also holds a master's degree in public administration and a postgraduate diploma in labor laws. He joined Tata Autocom Group in July 2005 and since then has been actively involved in all strategic growth initiatives of the company, including the company's turnaround in 2008-9. Mr. Chandel also drives the corporate sustainability program at Tata Autocom and is the Chief Ethics Officer. He is also a director on the board of 4 of the joint venture companies of the group. Prior to joining Tata Autocom, he worked with Siemens in India, Germany, and the US for almost 13 years. His last assignment at Siemens was heading the Siemens One project in India, implementing HR shared services, which he led till July 2005 before joining Tata Autocom Systems Limited. Mr. Chandel is an active member of several industry bodies and associations and has held various positions. He has been the Vice President of the Delhi chapter of National HRD Network and was awarded Leader of the Year by Leadership Management Incorporated USA in 1997. Delighted to have you with us today. Last but not the least, I invite Mr. Vinod Chaturvedi to join the panel here. Ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath for the number of adjectives I am now going to read out to you. Mr. Vinod Chaturvedi is a focused, result-oriented, self-motivated, stable, value-driven professional having more than 27 years rich experience. He has worked in the best of organizations of the country in their varied businesses at corporate as well as business roles, handling strategic, tactical and operational HR, providing jump shift focus to business results, concentrating on all functional strategies and objectives. He has demonstrated capability to build organization culture, competence and commitment so as to be an enabler and partner in achieving business objectives for long-term sustenance through deploying excellence models such as business process reengineering, TPM, TQM, Quality Circle and Six Sigma. He has worked with mega companies like Reliance Communications and Reliance SEC, Viraj Profiles and Aditya Birla Group in various businesses, where currently he is working as National Head HR, Cement Manufacturing with Ultratech Cement, Aditya Birla Group. Welcome to the panel, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an extremely captivating evening with this power-packed panel here. I now hand over the session to the moderator, Mr. Ajay Soni, for further discussions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's given me a great pleasure to be here with my esteemed panel. On this table, probably the cumulative experience is about 150 years. So I'm sure there are lots of pearls of wisdom out here. And so, you'll all be at the receiving end of that. I hope you guys have fun. There is no better fun than a good fight. So I will start by requesting each of you to say one thing about the presentation that I made. And preferably something that you didn't like or didn't agree with. So as I said, nothing in boring job is not a good fight. So.
Don't you think, Ajay, that whatever you described, why did you do all that long exercise of going to so many companies? I don't know.
That's waste of resources. I fully agree. But anybody would like to share, one thing, hopefully disagreed with, but if not that, then what you agree with it.
Definitely ready to pick a fight with you.
Good.
I was very intrigued by the fact that your research showed relatively lesser focus on innovation. And the reason I want to pick a fight with you on that one is you ask anybody overseas some Indian word, so they would definitely know it, like, your karma, people know? Guru, people know. But one other word that they know is jugaad. Yes. I think you could go anywhere and say jugaad and they would get it. And that is innovation. I agree that it is not sustainable innovation, and that's something that we want to work on. But I would shy away from saying that we don't focus enough on innovation. I think we do it naturally. I think all of us have seen enough and more jugaad as you pass through cities. All kinds of tall ladders fitting on a cycle with 3 people and a bucket and a paint. And that's jugaad. So I think there's enough and more innovation all over life, and I agree it's not sustainable, and that's what we need to do, make it sustainable. So that was my 2 cents on it.
Oh, great. Thank you. Bobby?
Ajay, one specific thing which I thought, you mentioned about organizations not focusing on value as a competency, and there is not much of a focus which is being given while evaluating leadership. In today's world, I have seen a lot of trends in many organizations which I have interacted with, where value is being considered as a part of the competency processes. Even in our own organization, I have a set of technical competencies, a set of behavioral competencies, and the organizational values are considered to be the 3rd set of competencies which we evaluate on a regular basis. So that's something which came as a little bit of a surprise to me, that whether it may be an aspect with most of the organizations that they are yet starting to focus on it, but quite a few number of good organizations have started focusing on it already.
Great. Vinod, you were itching to say something.
You presented that HR department is not concentrating on deliver results. I think they are working very closely with the CEOs, and in all the companies, I have worked 3, 4, and interacting with most of the HR professionals. Most of the times the delivery comes from the people, and the list of those people are always on the CEO's table. And HR, and it is on the tips with the HR. So deliver results is one thing. And I would tell this in Indian context, that since we as Asian race or an Indian race, we are very good in delivering results. What Anjali said, that we are very good in jugaad.
Right.
And second is that we are able to manage ambiguity. By any condition, we get the things done. And it's in our culture. We never return empty-handed. We always do something. So that's culturally that is there, and we are respected by that, by our CEOs and the HR department. So it's a competence which is getting developed.